shift from the fear of COVID to living with it, and that the normal that we know in the past may not be there anymore.
Spreading misinformation and disinformation can have just an equivalent impact as the virus itself.
When you take a vaccine, you're not doing it only for yourself, but for your loved ones, for the people closest to you, and for the rest of the country.
The diseases that these vaccines protect us against are more dangerous than the vaccine.
The treatment does not get rid of the virus, but it prevents the virus from weakening your immune system.
We know how to fight HIV. It's about political will. It's about, making choices.
I think LGBTQ+ is not just a community, it's a pocket of communities.
Love cannot be limited to male and female.
Kindness is really the currency of our time.
It's never a sign of a weakness of one's character. If we want to seek help, if we want to talk to someone.
Number 1, you can get cured. Number 2, it's not your fault that you have this disease.
Don't fall for these fad diets because it might be detrimental in the long run.
And it's because they're trying to deny that they have the disease. But once you accept it, and you learn to live with it, and it's really very easy to be living with diabetes.
Love your eyes, and your eyes will love you back.
Ayan. Good afternoon, everyone.
Magandang tanghali.
Magandang tanghali din sa inyo.
Lorna and Dr. Dex.
Kamusta?
Kamusta kayo? Ayan. So, ngayong episode ng Kumusta Doc? Hindi natin kasama si Kai and si Bianchi. So, pahinga muna sila today. So, pero may mga bago tayong kasama ngayong tanghali. So, kasama natin si Vera. So, siya ang ating account director sa Hello Doctor. And kasama din natin si Lorna, ang ating Filipino writer. So, mag-hi mo kayo sa ating viewers.
Hi! Magandang tanghali.
Happy to be here. Magandang tanghali. Hope you're enjoying your lunch.
Excited na ako mapag-usapan ng tungkol sa rabies.
Oo. May experience ba kayo? Lalo na sa kagat ng aso, ganyan?
Ako once, oo.
Ako din.
Buti naman hindi naging twice, no? Once lang.
Ako parang wala eh. Pero nahabol na ako ilang beses ng aso.
I wonder why, Justin.
Bakit kanila hinahabol?
Baka ko yung problem. Pero wala pa. So, parang hindi pa naman ako nakagat ng aso ever. Kalmot ng pusa, oo. Kasi madami kami pusa. Pero,
ako din, oo.
Aso, wala. Oo.
Ako aso, nung bata ako, 6 years old ako noon. Yun yung kinuha ko yung buto na kinakain ng aso, tapos ako na yung nakagat.
Ayan.
Oo.
Ba't mo kasi kinuha yung buto ng aso?
Kasi ang thinking ko ng bata ako, mamamatay sila pag kumain sila ng butong malalaki. So,
Pero totoo yun. Hindi naman actually, I'm not sure if mamamatay, but it can be stuck in their stomach. If they swallow yung malaking buto.
Yun yung
Saka
nasa
hindi kasi
isip ko.
Oo, hindi kasi siya natutunaw, di ba? Yung
Yes, oo.
naiipon pa siya. So eventually,
Yung pet ng friend ko, it took them 2 years tapos to find out what's inside the dog's tummy. Tapos nagpa-surgery sila just to get that out. So we also have to be careful on what we are giving our pets. Akala natin, di ba? Akala natin pagbuto fight, di ba? Bet na bet nila ang mga buto pero hindi natin alam na para rin silang
nakakasama pala siya.
Oo. Actually, yung sa pet namin, we are also careful on giving him yung mga kahit na maliliit na buto, we make sure it's not sharp. Kasi na ano rin yung throat niya.
Oo. Tsaka naiipon nga kasi yun, di ba? Tapos eventually kailangan i-surgery, no?
Yes.
Pero kayong dalawa, pet lovers ba kayo? May mga...
Yes!
Ayan.
Yes. Ako kasi may pusa kami. So, dalawa yung pusa namin. Tapos may 4 na kuting kasi nanganak lang si Bangus nung nakaraan. So, medyo magulo ang bahay. Oo, dalawa siya. So, yung white Bangus kasi nga milkfish. Tapos yung isa si Bangi. Tutong daw in Kapampangan kasi yung Kapampangan yung yung kasama ko. Oo.
Hindi naman sila natatawag na bangis. Ayan. Ang pangalan ng pet ko, Dalmi, kinuha ko siya doon sa Korean drama series na Startup. Ayan.
Ako naman, yung pet ko, well, unfortunately, hindi na natin siya kasama ngayon, pero ang name niya is Augusto.
Yes.
Hi,
Doc V.
Hello
Magandang tanghali, Doc.
Hi, Doc V. Kamusta?
Yan. Pakilala ko lang po. Yes, Doc V. So, ngayong tanghali, pahinga muna si Kai and si Bianchi sa ating chismisan at sa ating kulitan ngayong tanghali. So, kasama natin ngayon si Jera, ang aming account director, at si Binibining Lorna Austria. Siya ang ating Filipino writer. So, good afternoon, Doc Lia. Good afternoon, Doc Dex.
Good afternoon, Doc Dex.
Gandang tanghali po.
So, yan. Ang ating topic ngayong tanghaling ito ay Usapang Kagatan. So, yan. Kanina, tinatanong ko sila, Jera at si Lorna, kung may experience na ba sila na nakagat ng aso. Meron daw ng pagkabata. Ako kasi hindi ko pa na-experience. Parang hindi ko talaga maalala na kung nakagat na ako. Lagi ang hinahabol lang ng aso. Tsaka mga pet lovers din itong si Jera at si Lorna. Kayo, Doc Dia, alam ko may dog kayo, di ba? Ano po yung pangalan niya?
Yes, oo. I think one of the things na parang naging hobby na ngayong pandemic is apart from plants is to be able to adopt a pet, which is actually very good. Yung first pet ko was when I was 5, yung pangalan niya Barbie, although I wasn't sure if she was male or female. Pero mahilig kasi ako sa Barbie before eh. And then we have right now dun sa bahay ko sa Iloilo, we have 2 dogs. Si Cole and si Frost. Hello, baka nanonood sila, no? And then for alaga health, we actually have an office dog, no? Yung dog ni Doc Dex, si Champ. So I don't know if Champ is here. I actually requested for Champ to be here, but I don't know if nadala ni Doc Dex sa office. So hopefully ma-meet natin si Champ. And nakakatuwa na we have pet lovers here who are with us today, no? And of course, marami po sa ating nanonood ng Hello Doctor, yung may mga sarili-sarili nilang pets who are also, parang part na rin ng family natin.
Yes. Actually, yung akin, Doc, firstborn ko yun eh. Ang tawag ng anak ko sa kanya, Kuya.
Oh,
kuya.
sweet.
Oh, 'di ba? Part of family talaga ang ating pets eh.
Oo.
Ano
Tawag namin sa kanya si
magiging
kuya.
sa'yo. Oo. So, with that, Doc Via and Doc Dex. So, mag-start na tayo sa ating chikahan this afternoon. So, siguro to open the conversation, ang unang question ko is, ano nga ba ang rabies or rabies? At paano siya nakukuha ng mga alaga natin or yung mga aso or pusa sa labas ng ating mga bahay? So, yun po. Go
Alright,
ahead.
sige, I'll answer that kasi parang tinatawag ata ni Doc Dex si Champ, no? So rabies, no, is actually, hello Champ, nakikita ko yung buntot ni Champ. Rabies is actually a viral disease, no? That can spread, no? Pag tayo ay nakagat ng isang animal, no, it can be a dog, no, that have been, infected by the virus. No? So, isa po siyang viral infection, no? Usually, no, yung kadalasan nating na-encounter pag sinasabi nating rabies, no, is it comes from dogs. Pero, actually, it can also come from other animals, no? It can come from bats. It can come from cats also. O kaya usually pag animal bites, no, especially when hindi lamang po yung mga dogs but pati rin yung mga cats natin, cat scratches or nakagat tayo ng paniki for some reason, no, we usually recommend to have rabies vaccine. So what it does, no, is it actually infects, no, yung rabies virus infects yung nervous system natin, that's why minsan, no, pag hindi naagapan siya, no, we actually see patients na nagkakaroon ng photosensitivity or takot sa light, no? Or minsan takot sila sa water, no? Because yung sa central nervous system natin affects, yung mga senses natin, yung ability natin to be able to feel pain, to be able to feel sensations. So that's why, pag na-infect ng virus, yung ating brain, no, yung ating central nervous system, and hindi siya naagapan, no, it might be very fatal and it can cause a lot of neurological problems. So, it's actually a very preventable disease because there are vaccines for rabies. And hindi lamang po para sa tao yung vaccine, meron din pong vaccine para sa dogs. So, maybe Doc Dex can expound on that and probably we can see Champ siguro. Hi, Champ!
Hi, Champ! So,
Hi,
I think
Champ!
nakikinig yung konting rumble na nangyari dito kanina, no? Pero, just to add, no, when you talk about rabies kasi, one of the things that you have to understand is kahit saang parte ka ng katawan makagat, kunyari ng aso o other entity na merong rabies, it can go up. Ang pathway kasi niya, saan man ka makagat, it will go to your spinal cord and will shoot up to the brain. Its main goal is to infect the brain. And one of the critical things that you must find out is the closer yung kagat sa utak, mas delikado. So if you get bit sa leg, medyo malayo. Pero pag nakagat ka siguro sa shoulder, sa may neck, o sa may face, lalong-lalo na sa face, sobrang bilis ng infection, yung pag-travel ng virus. So if yung area na yun kayo nakagat, better seek help as soon as you can or earlier than you can fathom pa kung pwede. Kasi talagang we're trying to beat time to ensure na yung effects niya ma-minimize.
Yes,
Thanks,
Doc. So,
Doc.
ganun pala yun, no? Diretso sa utak agad, no?
Oo.
So, pala delikado.
So, follow-up question lang, Doc Via and Doc Dex, no? So, since si Doc Via mentioned earlier that it's a virus affecting our pets, my question is, so our pets were not born with it. They acquire it. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kasi there was this notion before that newborn, kasi ako po, Doc, just to share with you, I was bitten by a tuta before. So the notion of the people around me when I got bitten by a puppy was, mas malakas daw ang rabies ng tuta versus adult dog. So, ang immediate reaction nila is to put alcohol on it, and then I went agad sa hospital to get my vaccination, my anti-rabies vaccination. It took 7 shots. I had 7 shots of it. But the notion then was, pagtuta daw kasi, mas malakas ang rabies. So, it's not true?
Yes, go ahead, Doc Dex. Naka-mute ka, Doc.
Nakamute kayo, Doc. Sorry.
Alright, sige. When it comes to an animal being infectious, meron kasi tayong 3 streams. So, of course, less likely to be extremely dangerous yung mga domesticated animals, primarily kapag kompleto yung mga bakuna nila. Then you have your small critters and then your wild canids, yung sinasabi nila. So, this is actually one of the reasons why upon adopting a pet, for example, one of the things that you ask for is, bakunado na ba yung pet? Right? And it's very, very quote-unquote expensive. Especially for dads and for moms to get all of their for kids vaccinated. And yun yung isang way for the family, for your family, as well as your pet, to be protected from other causes of diseases. And tama yung sinabi ni Ma'am kanina, no, na once you get scratched, especially by an unvaccinated animal, you need to have to undergo a significant number of post-exposure prophylaxis to protect yourself as well.
Yes. Kayo po, Doc Via.
To add to that, no, one of the things kasi na kailangan nating ma-remember, no, is hindi po born yung pets natin with rabies. No, it's something that they
Ayan, si Champ.
Si Champ, oo.
Thank you for clarifying po, Doc.
Alright, sorry, ayun. So it's something that they acquire, no? Parang nagkaroon ata ako ng medyo minor technical difficulties. Pero I think si Champ, no, nagugulo, baka nagutom siguro. But anyway, no, for rabies, no, hindi siya inherited or hindi siya inherent sa ating pets, no? So nahahawa sila from a host, no, from another dog siguro or from another animal that might have the virus, no. One of the things that we want to do, no, for us to also ensure, no, kasi kawawa din yung pets natin, kasi not only are they suffering from the manifestations, no, nagaano din yung pet, it also affects their health, no. So hindi lamang po yung mga tao yung nagsasuffer from the virus itself, but also our pets can suffer from it, no. So mas mainam po, no, na yung sa mga pets natin, no, mabakunahan po sila, no, and it's always important, no, for us to be able to get vaccinations when we are actually bitten or scratched. No, later on, probably ma-explain namin ni Doc Dex kung ano yung mga categories ng animal bites, kasi merong mga indications for vaccination doon, no. Apart from having to be vaccinated with rabies, no, meron din kasing iba pang mga vaccinations na kailangan pag tayo ay nakagat ng aso, na-scratch ng pusa, nakagat ng paniki, nakagat ng any other animal bite, no. And yung mga wound actually will actually give you an indication of what you need to do and what vaccines do you need to be administered with, no. So kung dumugo ba siya on its own, kung malapit ba siya sa face, kung saang part ka ba na scratch, no, that can actually have indications on what you need to have as vaccine. So later on we'll explain that. And I think nawala ulit si Doc Dex kasi yung fur baby niya na si Champ ay nagugulo. Ayun. Hello, Champ.
Yep, you can see the tail
Yes.
wagging. Yeah. So one approach kasi talaga natin pagdating sa rabies is it's a dual level of protection. So not only do we vaccinate our fur kids, but also we vaccinate ourselves, no? Meron tayong mga pre-exposure prophylaxis, meron tayong mga post-exposure prophylaxis, among others. And siguro nabanggit din naman ni Doc Via yung mga treatments. Let's probably jump into that para lahat ng viewers natin alam kung ano yung kailangan gawin kapag sila ay nakaranas, for example, no, either scratch man o talagang kagat. So, probably let's go through it. For example, category 1. Okay, category 1. So, yun yung mga hinawakan mo lang yung pet, pinapakain mo siya, na lilik niya yung skin mo, even if the particular pet, for example, has rabies, there's no exposure there. Yeah? Particularly, walang break sa skin, etc., walang scratch, walang bleeding. That's considered as category 1. Right? This is for treatment. Then yung category 2 natin, category number 2, yun yung mayroong mga minor scratches, o kaya naman mga abrasions, pero walang bleeding. Tapos wala din siyang nibbling sa uncovered na skin. So very important to know that. Yung category 3 natin, ito yung talagang pinaka-watch out natin kasi either single or multiple bites or scratches. So hindi lang siya bite, pwede rin yung scratches, licks on a broken skin. So kunyari may sugat ka na tapos na-lick ka ng isang pet na vaccinated and has rabies, considered na yun as potential contamination, no? And can be very much dangerous for you. So ang ginibigay natin doon, immunoglobulins plus vaccine. Yung category 2, vaccine lang yung binibigay natin. So we have a tiered approach, depende dun sa level of exposure mo dun sa sakit. Yeah. So again, category 1, no treatment required. Category 2, immediate vaccination. Category 3, vaccination plus mag-administer po tayo ng mga immunoglobulins.
Oh, so ganun pala yun, Doc, no? May tatlong categories pala yan, no? Ako kasi madalas akong makakalmot ng mga pusa ako dito sa bahay. So, pero hindi naman dumudugo, ganyan. Tapos, siguro, to add into that, gaano po ba kadalas? Isang beses lang po ba dapat pa-injectionan or pa-vaksinan ng ating pets? Or nauulit po ba siya? Like, taon-taon po ba siya? Para lang sa ating mga pet lovers na viewers. Yes po, Doc Dex. Or...
Sorry?
Yeah.
Ayun,
So,
Doc Dex. I think the question was how often do we have our pets vaccinated, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So go ahead, Doc Dex.
Go ahead, Doctora. Go ahead.
Right. So it's best actually for us to have our pets vaccinated talaga, especially kung i-rehome natin siya. May schedule po 'yan, no? Yung mga natin, yung mga vet natin, meron po yung schedule in terms of when do we get our pets vaccinated, no? But as to how often do we have them vaccinated, no? So from my experience, no, with my pet, si Cole tsaka si Frost, we had them vaccinated nung when they were a few months, no, na naka-rehome na sa amin, no. And then I think, I'm not sure, Doc Dex, kay Champ, if they have boosters actually, no. Ito yung mga problem namin because we are medical doctors for people, no. Sometimes kunyari merong mga tatawag sa akin si mama or my sister, no. Sabi niya, ate, Cole has diarrhea or Cole is vomiting. So sabi ko, I don't know what to do. Hindi ko naman pinag-aralan to. Hindi ko alam kung paano i-treat yung mga yung mga pets na dogs, no? Parang sabi ko, hindi ko naman to pinag-aralan sa med school. So usually what I would do, especially when you have pets who are not feeling well, especially in keeping their vaccines up to date as well, no, it's important for you to really consult your veterinarians, no, sila po yung mga doctors natin for our fur babies, to check, no, hindi lamang po kung updated yung kanilang rabies vaccine, or also we have to also check kung kailangan na ba silang i-deworm, ano po yung mga kailangan nila, no, as for them to be protected, no, especially sa level ng activity ng mga pets ninyo. Si Cole kasi, my dog, no, hindi ko siya pinapayagang to go outside because she's very makulit, no. So yeah, you have to be very aware also of what the activity of your pet is, no. Si Champ, no, when I visit the office, no, he's very makulit as well. So I think Doc Dex can share some of your experience. And I think nawala ulit si Doc Dex kasi inayos niya si Champ, no. But maybe si Miss Jera and Miss Lomalin can actually share your experience as per parents, and maybe si Sir Justin also.
Well, for me kasi, Doc, unfortunately, we lost my kuya already. So, and I'm not ready to have another pet again. But when, going back to when we have him pa, I do not also allow him to go out because I am aware that nakakahawa nga yung sakit bahay lang talaga siya. And yun nga, we may vitamins siya. Para siya talagang anak ko. So part talaga siya ng family tao. And we are also careful on what we are giving him na pagkain because we are aware na not table food is not good for our pets. So yun. May follow-up question lang ako dun sa vaccine, Doktora, since na-tackle natin siya earlier with Doc Dex. So, when I had my vaccine shot kasi, I had 7 shots. And I was informed that I have to follow strictly the schedule of the shots or I have to go back to day 1. So, I just want to understand bakit siya ganon na kailangan, if I can remember, I got my first shot and then 3 days after and then after. So I have to religiously follow the schedule. So I want to know, kasi hindi siya na-explain sa akin why I have to follow it religiously the schedule. So I want to know why kailangan natin follow yung schedule. Tsaka kung bakit pag na-miss ko yung isang schedule, uulit ako sa day 1. Kasi ang mahal nun I can remember
Yeah. Sige, I'll probably give a quick answer to that. Kasi we follow a strict vaccination regimen there. Meron tayong days na binibilang. Particularly the day that you got your first dose, no? 2 doses ka on day 0. Yan. 2 doses ka on day 0. And then 1 dose for the subsequent days. So ang usual count natin dyan ay 0, 3, 7, 14, and then 28. So it has to follow that strict schedule para ma-ensure natin na fully vaccinated ka, or at least ito tinatawag nating post-exposure prophylaxis. So sa Philippines, I believe we primarily use the intradermal vaccine for that one. Pero meron din tayong intramuscular variant, still following the same post-exposure prophylaxis. Lalo na kunyari na kagat ka na o kaya nagkaroon ka ng exposed skin, you have to follow yung breakdown natin. Again, the days are 0, 3, 7, 14, and 28. So, yun yung ating rollout for the vaccination.
So, tama ba, Doc?
Go ahead, Miss Jera. Go ahead.
Sorry. So, tama ba, Doc? If, for example, I missed day 3, I have to go back to day 0 again. Kasi ganun yung explanation sa akin
Sorry, our fun pet is over here. Hi, Sham. Sham, say hi. Anyway, very important for us to stick to the schedule, no? Kasi that is our regimen, at least yung proven nating way of ensuring that the vaccination is effective. Actually, consider na siya as post-exposure prophylaxis. Yun na yung proper term sa kanya.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, Doc Bia?
Yeah, kasi our body forms a certain immunity kasi when we do vaccines it's our body training ourselves. So it's the vaccine training our bodies to fight the virus themselves. So if ma-miss natin yun, no, parang training din yan, no, na pag may nakamiss tayo na training, baka kailangan nating ulitin siya ulit kasi hindi na na-reinforce yung learning ng ating katawan for that. So that's why if we miss it, we actually have to repeat again. Yeah. So kaya wag po natin kalimutan yung vaccine scheds natin. Meron po yung paper actually na binibigay no once you have the vaccine para hindi mo makalimutan yung schedule.
Yes. Doktora, meron lang po tayong question that I want to ask to you po. So, according from Jutes Vargas, can you discuss po yung about sa irig? Is anti-rabies na po ba or different po yung irig? Thank you po.
Yung irig, yun yung immunoglobulins, no? H-rig or E-rig, no? Equine, yun, so galing sa horse, or H-rig, no? Human, no? So, yun yung binibigay natin kapag category 3 na. Remember, yung in-explain kanina ni Doc Dex na mga categories ng animal bites, no? Category 1, category 2, category 3. Yung anti-rabies, binibigay natin dun sa category 2 and category 3, no? Pero we add yung irig, no, doon sa mga nakagat ng mga aso na yung classification ng kanilang animal bite, no, or kanilang wound, no, is category 3 na. Meaning either spontaneous bleeding or usually, no, when we already have a facial na parang kagat or scratch, no, we consider that as category 3 already, kahit hindi spontaneous yung pag-bleed niya. Yeah, so irig, no, that's IG, no. If you notice, no, equine immunoglobulin yan for rabies, no. So yun po yung tinatawag natin na immunoglobulin as explained kanina by Doc Dex, and we usually give that for category 3 na animal bite wounds. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you po, Doktora.
Thank you po.
Yes. Ikaw, Lorna, may question ka ba kay Doc Bia or Doc Dex?
Kasi nung bata ako, nakagat ako ng aso kasi kinuha ko yung butong kinakain. So, sa kamay ako nakagat. Ano po ba yung mga first aid po na pwede nating gawin kapag po nakagat ng aso? Kasi before, naaalala ko, yung father ko kasi yung unang sumagip sa akin nung nakagat ako ng aso. Hinugasan niya yung kamay ko at sobrang hapdi niya. And then, after nun, sa kanya ako dinala doon sa ospital para matingnan din ng doktor. So, may mga iba pa po bang tips para po sa first aid?
Okay. I-dispel muna natin yung myths. No? Tama yung ginawa ng dad mo, Miss Lorna. No? One thing that we need to do first, no, is to wash it with running water, tsaka wash it with hand soap, antibacterial soap doon sa non-exposed part. Pero kailangan po running water po talaga siya. No? Hindi pwede yung sa basin lang tapos ano lang natin, no? Ibababad lang natin yung wound. It has to be running water. Yung iba po, may mga nakikita kaming mga myths, no? Tulad ng pinapalik doon sa pet, yung wound. No po yun kasi yung saliva ng pets natin might have bacteria that can actually contaminate the wound, especially if it's a gaping wound, no? Number 2, no, wag din po nating lagyan ng bawang. Marami po sa atin yung na gumagawa po nun, no. Siguro also the belief nun sa mga matatanda, no. Pero hindi po kasi tayo sure kung saan po nanggaling yung bawang po na yun. It might also contaminate the wound itself. It might have bacteria, no. So, yung pinaka first aid po talaga dun is running water and wash it regularly, no? Wash it with a regular, with how you do your hand washing na, the normal thing that you do with hand washing. And especially kung meron po talagang break, no, sa skin, no, meron po kayong nakitang parang kahit scratch lang po yon and hindi po kayo sure dun sa vaccine status ng aso, no, especially dun sa mga aso na stray, no? It's important po na pumunta po tayo sa animal bite centers. Meron po silang mga vaccines doon, no? And I think, no, if you want to know more about animal bite centers, if you want to know more about animal bites and rabies, na saan natin siya pwede makuha, you can actually go to hellodoctor.com.ph. Marami po silang tips doon on how do you manage, yung animal bite wounds. And of course, meron din dong, I think, mga articles about, being a fur mom or being a fur dad and what benefits it can give you. So log on to hellodoctor.com.ph for that. Pero yeah, wag po nating lagyan ng wag po nating ipadila sa pet natin ha, yung wound natin.
No, yun pa yung lalang magpapadelikado kasi exposed na nga siya tapos nilagyan mo pa ng saliva. Yeah.
Hindi po natin rin igigisa yung wound natin, wag po nating lagyan ng bawang, ng sibuyas. Po yun, medyo delikado po yun. And, apart from rabies vaccine, we also need to be vaccinated with tetanus. Tetanus toxoid, tetanus shots. Kasi po yung tetanus, pwede yang makuha from the soil. And hindi po natin alam na yung mga pets natin or the pets that are from our friends, yung nakikita natin, baka may nakuhang tetanus na infectious agent that can actually infect us also with that infectious agent as well. So, yeah, yun po yung mga quick tips namin for animal bites.
Thank you.
Dagdag ko lang din, Doktora, baka makalimutan kasi ng iba na matagal yung incubation period ng rabies. Sobrang tagal. Posible na, kunyari, nakagat ka ngayon, o kaya naman, nakalmot ka ng isang araw, tapos nabiyaan mo lang, tapos you let a few days pass, and parang, hindi, paano wala naman, okay lang ako, I'm okay. Pero the thing is, yung incubation period kasi ng rabies can be up to 8 weeks bago ka magkaroon ng manifestation of any forms nito. So, kailangan kapag suspected mo na yung dog o yung bat or any other mammal na posibleng may rabies ay talagang carrier ng condition, you need to seek immediate action. Pag hindi ka sure, quick action ka agad. So siguro, just so that you can remember what to do next, pasimplihin natin. Pag ikay nakagat, magpaturok agad. Right? Kailangan yan. Pag ikay nakagat, paturok agad. Okay? Pag ikaw ay nakalmot, bakuna ang sagot. Ganun lang din yung vibe natin. So anything related to you being bitten or being scratched, kailangan mo kaagad magpa-vaccinate or magkaroon ng mga prophylaxis para ikaw ay maprotektahan. Yun. So very, very important. Kaya din, it's very good that we're getting good policies ngayon regarding animal welfare and control. Kasi sa mga neighborhoods, they try to ensure na walang stray dogs kasi you have no idea whether they're vaccinated or not. Kaya it's also being a responsible fur parent. Very important yan. It's not just about protecting yourself, but also protecting your furry pets.
Yes. Doc, follow-up question lang regarding vaccination. So, is it like other vaccine? Like, if you were vaccinated, pag na-vaccine ka na ng rabies, hindi ka na ba pwedeng ma-infect ng rabies moving forward? Or is there still a possibility for you, pag nakagat ka ulit ng asong infected, magkakaroon ka ulit ng rabies?
Sige. We'll follow the same principle kasi of any form of bodily protection. There is no 100% guarantee that you cannot be affected by a particular condition. But what vaccination does is put layers of protection to, sa'yo, primarily through the means of teaching your body how to fight the condition. That's the magic of vaccination and the magic of teaching your body how to defend it from these conditions. So kaya nga mas importante na hindi lang ikaw yung protektado with your vaccination. Yung iba kasi may prophylaxis na ginagawa. But also your pet, para dalawa kayo. So no matter what happens, makagat ka man or whatnot, the level of protection is higher. Ang pwede kasing mangyari is pag nakagat ka ulit, you might need a booster. You might need a booster. Particularly if you're not sure if the animal is vaccinated or not.
Usually, pag animals, we do every 3 years ata, no? 1 to 3 years for them to be revaccinated again, no? But that's why we have to always ask yung mga doctor natin for pets, no? Our dear veterinarians, no? Who are very much, knowledgeable and are experts, for our fur babies, no? I don't know if Champ is still there. Hello, Champ. How are you? But yeah, it's important for us to really protect not only ourselves but also our fur babies, from those infectious agents, especially yung mga viruses that can actually harm them as well. So yeah. Nainggit ako kay Doc Dex, no? So siya lang yung may fur baby dyan. So pakita ko din yung fur baby ko. This is Cole.
Oh, ang
Yeah,
cute!
this cool, no? I call him Coley. Very, very makulit, but miss na miss ko na yan. But anyway, nainggit kasi ako kay Doc Dex, siya lang yung my fur baby na kasama.
Oo nga. Ang cute ni Cole, Doc. So, may question ulit po tayo sa ating Facebook page. So, galing ulit kay Sir Jutes Vargas. So, question. May naririnig po kasi ako before nung bata ako. Sabi po nila, pag nakagat ka ng cat, daw po, 10 years pa daw po malalaman if nakakuha ka ng rabies. May katotohanan po ba ito? So, dispelling agad po yung mga natin, yung mga myth na narinig natin sa about rabies or about kagat po ng aso or pusa.
Medyo matagal yung 10 years, no, na incubation period. Usually, no, usually one of the things that we wanted to do, ayaw naman nating patagalin ng ganyang katagal, no, before we take action. So one of the things before, no, for us to know whether the animal was infected with the virus, no, is pasintabi po sa mga nanonood po. And this is very cruel, no, for me to say, but it's usually done is you take the head, no, ng animal, and then you send it, no, to a center that will look at the tissues of the animal to diagnose whether that animal has rabies. It's really done before, no, pero hindi naman, we love our fur pets, and that's why we want to be able to our fur babies, and we want to be able to protect them. So it's important, for us, no, pag hindi sure, it's always important for us to have vaccination. Especially, no, wag na po tayong mag-gamble with faith, no? Especially kung nakagat tayo ng hindi natin sure yung vaccination status ng aso and wala pa tayong vaccine, rabies vaccine ourselves. So, wag na po nating hintayin ng 10 years, no? Or yung incubation period ng rabies vaccine. We have to be vaccinated po. Whether, pag nalaman natin after we have been vaccinated na na-vaccinate pala yung aso, then it's fine, no? It's better to be safe than to gamble with our health. So, sir, wag po natin hintayin yung 10 years. If nakagat po tayo ng aso, ng pusa, ng any animal that hindi po natin alam yung vaccination status, we have to get ourselves vaccinated po.
Bigyan natin siguro ng doktora ng guide, particularly kasi baka hinahanap nila yung mga manifestations dun sa pets nila mismo. Kasi iba-iba yan. Kunyari, bat rabies, medyo sobrang tagal talaga nun, long yung incubation period niya. Kapag dog rabies, yun yung sinasabi kong 3 to 8 weeks. 3 to 8 weeks bago siguro mag-manifest yung dog rabies dun sa pet nyo. Pero for humans, siguro I think I can discuss yung clinical findings that will happen kapag ikaw ay nagkaroon ng rabies, for example. Pero kasi tayong tinatawag na prodromal phase, yun yung 2 to 10 days after mong makagat or mag-manifest yung symptoms sa inyo. So, may mga non-specific symptoms ka pa nakita dyan. Meron ng headache, yung photophobia na nabanggit ni Doc Via, yung parang konting liwanag lang, parang sobrang bright na nasisilaw pa na kaagad. And then, pwede ka na may mga sore throat, nagdadry na yung lamunan mo, alongside yung fever. This can happen anytime between 2 to 10 days after. Then, ito yung inaantabayanan natin, yung tinatawag natin acute neurologic. That's between 2 to 7 days. Makikita nyo na yung mga neurological dysfunctions. Pwede kang magkaroon ng mga hallucinations, mga nakikitang bagay na wala naman doon. Tapos bizarre behavior, no? Tapos parang ang bilis mong naglalaway, sobrang naglalaki, tapos pwede ka din na para nagluluha. So, ito yung mga manifestations na meron. Pero ang pinakasikat siguro pagdating sa rabies is parang meron kang hydrophobia. Parang takot ka sa tubig in general. You fear swallowing, you fear the presence of water, among others. So, these can be considered as yung mga main na tinabangan natin pagdating sa rabies. So, iba yung nakikita natin sa pets, iba yung nakikita natin sa atin as humans.
Kaya Doc Dex, tinatawag siyang rabid dog, rabid. Because when an animal or a person is actually infected with rabies, no, yun yung nakikita natin when we mean yung mas magaling yung mga kasama natin dito, Doc Dex, mas magaling with semantics, no. So rabid yung parang how do I put it? It's synonymous to parang crazy, parang intense, parang may maniac tendencies, no. It might have etymologies, no, from rabies, rabid dog, or a rabid fan, no. Kasi if you encounter someone who's very rabid, no, there are behavioral changes, to the point na minsan yung image na nakikita natin or na maaalala natin pag rabid naglalaway, no. So
yeah. Doc, follow-up question lang po. Since you mentioned earlier, kapag ang hindi natin naagapan kaagad ang infection ng rabies, it can be fatal. My question is, pag infected na po ba yung alaga natin, can it be cured? Same with tayo sa mga tao. Kapag medyo late phase na natin nalaman na, ay, infected pala ako ng rabies, curable pa po ba yun? Or ano po yung dapat nating tandaan pag nandun na tayo sa phase na yun?
Yeah. Dito papasok yung public health side nito, no? Kasi part of the control that we have is that we bring those pets that are really infected for, unfortunately, we have to let them go and surrender them to our friends in RITM, among others. Kasi they're actually going to pose a lot of harm and very difficult yung process for them to not manifest such symptoms. So yun yung medyo sad side of this. That's why it's very important to please vaccinate your pets. Be a responsible fur parent and protect your loved ones from being infected. Kasi talagang pag magkaroon na sila, part talaga ng protocol would be sending them towards RITM.
Yeah. For people also, Doc Dex, unfortunately, when you're already infected, especially pag naging rabid ka na rin, no, there is no effective cure for it, no. So, although there are people who have survived rabies, it's very, very rare, no, and there's no effective treatment for it na discover pa so far. So, what we have, no, right now is not the treatment but a prevention for us to not go into that stage wherein hindi na natin siya maaagapan. That's why yung campaigns ngayon, especially for anti-rabies campaigns, are very much strict, or are very much championing that message talaga that you have to be vaccinated, and I think maraming articles yung hellodoctor.com.ph on how to make sure that you're protected, from viruses, no, from infectious agents, no, through vaccination, no. And you can read them, know more about them when you visit the site, no. And of course, when you want to know more, when you want to ask yung mga medical professionals, no, about rabies, no, and about the health of your pets, no, you can go to Alaga Health, no, to book a schedule with us if you want to know more, no, or if you want to, o kung gusto mo magpa-check up kung doc, baka may rabies na yung baka may rabies or na-infect na ng rabies yung kaibigan ko or something like that, no. Wag lang po yung pets kasi hindi po namin alam kung paano i-treat po yung pets, but hopefully soon we'll be able to have veterinarians with us also in Alaga Health. But yeah, isang ano din po yun isang pain point ko po yun sometimes, when I have dogs, when my dogs are not feeling well, so parang I don't know what to do. So parang ito pala yung feeling ng mga parents, na especially those who might not be medically inclined. So it's important for us to really ask those who are knowledgeable about the topic, about the issue, especially for your pets, and for yung health mo rin, as someone who owns a pet or someone who is very much exposed to animals as well.
Correct.
Thank
So
you.
just giving up a question, Lorna?
Yes, go, Lorna.
Ako meron kasi before kasi may aso din kami sa bahay pero namatay siya kasi nagkasakit kaya si Dalmi na lang yung natitira tapos ito siya. Ayan. Kulay orange siya. Oo, ayan. Ngayon, naka-curious lang ako na ano ba yung mas matindi? Yung rabies po ba ng pusa o yung rabies po ng aso?
They're actually same, no? Kasi yung main positive agent niya is the virus itself. No? So the virus can infect the cats, the same virus can infect the dogs as well. No? So in terms of, siguro nag-aalinlangan ka, ay, pusa naman nakakagat sa akin, baka hindi naman ganun katindi yung rabies from cats. So it's the same. Huh? It's the same virus. So kailangan pa rin po nating proteksyonan yung sarili natin through vaccination kapag nakagat po tayo ng any animal for that matter, no? And alalahanin po natin yung categories. That's very important, especially when we want to be able to seek treatment, no? So category 1, 2, 3. So I think pwede yung may article sila, Sir Justin, no, sa Hello Doctor about that. Yeah.
Thanks po, Doc Lia. And follow-up question lang din po. Para po doon sa mga nag-aalaga po ng pets, ano po kaya yung magandang gawin kung yung pets nila ay laging lumalabas? Kasi may mga sabi-sabi, clarify ko na rin din po tutok kung totoo po ba na mas prone o mas malakas yung rabies ng mga nasa labas o yung mga pusang gala, asong gala, compared dun sa mga nasa bahay lang.
Okay. Sige, babalik tayo din sa am I on mute? Anyway, balik tayo dun sa nabanggit ko kanina, yung mga different classifications, yung likelihood na magkakaroon ka ng rabies or yung pet mong pagkakaroon ng rabies based on their grouping. So, pinaka-least likely na magkaroon ng rabies yung mga domesticated animals. So, these include your dogs, your cats, etc. But the truth is, if you're gonna compare cats and dogs, may slightly higher likelihood na magka-rabies yung cats than dogs. Contrary to popular belief na yung dogs, di ba yun kasi yung image palagi, yung dog na nagpo-foam yung mouth o nagka-salivate, etc. But still, their risk getting it is much lower than, let's say, yung mga small critters, yung mga rabbits, o kaya naman yung mga gala talaga. As in, when I say gala, they're not domesticated at all. Kasi, again, they're more exposed to the environment. Mas mataas yung likelihood na makuha nila yung virus. Pinakamataas ng likelihood, yung mga livestock na, mga wild canids, etc. So, yun yung magiging notion natin for that. hindi ibig sabihin na hinayaan mong nasa labas kunyari matulog yung pet mo, mas mataas yung chance niya magkaroon ng virus. Not necessarily, it's really more of the exposure to the general environment. Kasi for sure, you walk your dog, you play with your cat outside, pero that doesn't mean that they're going to get the virus agad because they are more likely domesticated, they likely stay at home, and are less likely to be exposed dun sa virus.
Yeah. Parang tao lang din, Doc Dex, no? Pag kunyari, maybe I can make an analogy dun sa COVID, no? Pag palagi po tayong nakalabas, nakakasalamuha tayo ng a person who might be infected with a virus, kunyari COVID, it's more likely for us to be infected by it, no? Kasi because of the exposure, no? So, same with dogs, no? Parang ganun din yung nagiging mechanism for that, no? So, sa mga fur moms who have dogs who might be, very, very energetic, extra energetic, no? Baka yung, kasi, yung nangyayari kasi, no? Pag hindi na yung energy ng pets, no? They become, they would seek attention or they would divert their attention somewhere and it can be very destructive, no? Case in point dito yung mga plants the plants of my mom, no? So Cole is very much an energetic dog, no? So if our dogs are not exercised, no, hindi sila na we don't play with them, no, baka there's a tendency for them to really seek attention or divert their attention somewhere that you don't want them to really touch, no? So probably it's important for us, and this is what I learned then with dun din sa pagre-research namin ni Doc Dex with kasi we're both for moms and for dads. So, what they, according to Cesar Milano, he's my favorite kasi pag ganyan.
Yeah, same.
So, pag ganyan, what we need to do no, is to be able to spend at least 30 minutes of exercise for our dogs. No? And hindi lamang siya yung exercise na, okay, I will sit here and then gumala ka lang or you just run around. It should be exercise that you do with them. So you run with them, you walk with them, you play with them. That actually helps them also burn off the energy, the excess energy. Kasi our dogs are very much are very much loving and loyal to us. No? So pag alam niyang kunyari nakipag-play na siya with mommy or daddy, no? Yung energy niya to be able to play with you and bond with you is na-satisfy na meet na, no? So what happens, with Cole, usually, no, si Cole, yung picture kanina was Cole in my bed, no? So palagi niya yung ginagawa, no? So what we usually do is when I work out, pag nandun ako sa bahay sa Iloilo, Cole would just be there, no? He would stand up. Na-miss ko tuloy si Cole, no? And he would just come around, no? So you play with your pets, no? That's one form of exercise that you can do para para ma-lessen yung chances of them wanting to go out, no? Kasi pag hindi natin sila nabigyan din ng attention, they will divert it, no? To something else that might not be, that might not be agreeable to us then.
True.
Ikaw, Doc Dex, ano experience mo kay Champ?
My dog, actually, foster dad ako kasi Champ actually belongs to my brother. Pero sobrang active niya. Golden Retriever kasi sobrang daming pent-up energy. But I also have another adopted foster fur kid, Shih Tzu naman. So yun naman, very easy to handle. Very relaxed lang. Kayang higa lang siya the entire time. Yes, this is true. I agree with this. Para siyang therapy. Just a heads up, no? Kasi meron tayong mga tinatawag na dogs. They're very, very receptive and they're very, very intuitive pagdating sa mga emotions natin. So, kunyari, you feel sad, mapangit yung araw mo, they can tell. And magugulat ka na lang, papat ka nila, ihahag ka nila, didilaan nila yung kamay mo o yung leg mo. They're very, very intuitive. They, what do you call this? If I remember correctly, they exhibit a mutual sharing of emotions. They will magnify or reflect kung ano yung nararamdaman mo. So if you're sad, they will suddenly feel sad. And when they're extremely excited, or when you're extremely excited, they will also feel very excited and agitated. So that's one of the reasons why how we are, the healthier we are, the healthy life that we have, pwede rin ma-reflect din siguro ng ating mga pets.
True. Ako naman, dog, share ko lang, may Augusto din. He's very protective of my baby. Ganun lang siya. I mean, when we are putting her sa crib, bantay lang siya, and pag may stranger talagang ganun siya, very protective. He's not aggressive, sobrang bait nun. But whenever there's a stranger, alert talaga siya. That's what I noticed with my pet before.
Same experience, Miss Guerra, with the Cole. Kasi si Cole very malambing sa amin, no. He's a very very loving dog, no. So when we come home, he would usually be on the be by the door and then waiting to greet you, and he is so excited, he's wagging his tail. But if it's a stranger, parang alam mo yung message nila na hey, this is my human, don't hurt them, no, you're another person, you shouldn't hurt them, ganon. That's why we have to take extra care. I think Sir Justin, no, you also have you have a fur baby also. I don't know if you share the same experience.
Yes. Pero yung sa amin po, cats. Kasi mas
cat person si Sir Justin.
Cat person. Very low maintenance kasi sila. So, ayun. Tsaka wala lang. Ang cute lang ng cats. Tsaka hindi ko kaya energy kasi ng dogs. So, kaya doon na lang tayo sa cats na very, chill lang.
Sporty kasi yung husband ko, just playing church maglakad. Pag sa dog namin.
Yes, Doc.
Yung palagi, I remember it's usually my dad who would, play with Cole a lot before. Pero my dad kasi works abroad. So, minsan nami-miss din siya ni Cole. But one of the things also that we wanted to share with those who wants to be a fur mom or a fur dad, or who's thinking of adopting a pet, no? Whether it's a cat or a dog, no? It's always important to remember, no, that these are more than just animals. No, these are going to be part of your families. They will share their lives with you. And I read somewhere before na we have our work, we have our friends, but our fur babies only have us. No? So we have to take care of them the same way that we take care of our loved ones as well. So if you want to know more about how to take care of your pets, no, and making sure that our well-being, sabi nga ni Doc Dex, there's a shared, connection with you and your pets. Go to hellodoctor.com.ph for more information, especially dun sa pinag-usapan natin. And if you want to know more about, medical matters on animal bites, and pag may gusto po kayong pakonsulta, please visit us, talk to us at Alaga Health.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Doc Bia, Doc Dex. Very insightful and very informative ang conversation natin. Discussion natin.
Oras, no?
Okay, bitin.
Magpawala pala. One of my favorites to. Sana I can
I really love this.
Sana may part 2.
Hopefully, I want a part 2.
Yes. So, ang bilis ng oras, no? Grabe. To close our conversation ngayon, anong mga natutunan nyo sa ating conversation with Doc V and Doc Dex? Start tayo kay Lorna.
Ako yung pinaka talagang tumatak sa akin, yung kung paano nagkakaroon ng extra care, saka kung paano nabibuild palalo yung connection natin dun sa mga alaga natin. Yung nagre-reflect sa mga pets natin, kung ano ba yung klaseng pamumuhay na meron tayo, kung masaya ba tayo, nagiging masaya din sila, kung malungkot tayo, na nararamdaman nila. So, nakakatuwa lang na may ganoong nabubuong bonding at connection sa pagitan ng mga hayop at ng mga tao. Ayan.
Correct.
So, thank you.
Ikaw, Jenna.
Yeah, with me naman, Justine, what I learned from our discussion today is that, like any other disease that we have as humans, rabies is always best talaga if we prevent it. Kasi mas maagang maagapan kasi nga eventually nalaman natin na wala pala siyang cure once we are infected also with sa pet natin. So prevention talaga. So I encourage everyone na may mga pets dyan na kung hindi pa sila vaccinated with anti-rabies, please do visit your vet na talaga. Kasi importanteng ingatan natin yung buhay nila. Siyempre tayo. Thank
Yes,
you!
ako same sentiments dun, Jera, na dapat tayo as fur parents or humans, dapat maging responsible tayo sa ating mga
Correct.
pets, no? Sa ating mga, since part sila ng ating family, ayaw natin na magkaroon sila ng rabies, 'di ba? Or any kind of disease pa, 'di ba? So, at ayaw din naman natin na sila yung maging sanhi ng pagkakasakit ng ating mga mahal sa buhay. So, sabi nga ni Doc Dex, 'di ba? Kapag nakagat, bakuna agad. Tapos kapag nakalumot, bakuna
Turok agad.
turok ang sagot, 'di ba?
Oo.
Very poetic as always si Doc Dex, 'di ba? So tumatak kagad sa utak ko yung ganun. So yun nga, kailangan maging responsible, magpa-vaccinate. So yun lang. So kayo po, Doc V and Doc Dex.
Okay. So, I'll go. Alam na ni Sir Justin no, na ako next kasi si Doc Dex yung pinaka-poetic sa atin dito. No? So, for us, for moms, for dads, for humans, for parents, no, it's important for us to always protect our fur babies, no, especially since more than just them being our pets, they're part of our families, they're part of our lives, no? And sila po, no, hindi lang natin maintindihan completely, no, kasi iba po yung language nila sa atin, no. They make us always feel that they are willing to give everything that they have for us. Nararamdaman po natin yon, no, sa mga natin, no, sa the way we interact with them, no. So it's important for us to be able to know how to care for them, no. Kung hindi po natin alam, no, yung kung paano po mag-alaga or kung paano po alagaan yung pets natin, we always ask po the experts, no. We have our veterinarians, kami pong mga physicians, mga medical doctors, no. Hindi rin po namin alam kung paano alagaan yung mga dogs, no. So we always have to ask our experts if we don't know, no, and always always verify the information that you get, especially about the health of your pets and your own health as well. Go to hellodoctor.com.ph. For those who are thinking of adopting or becoming a fur parent, no, it's the best decision, probably one of the best decisions that you will have in your life, no. It's not going to be easy kasi you have to care for someone, but you are sure that you will feel loved and cared for by your fur baby. So make sure also that we make them feel loved and cared for as well. And if you have any questions for your medical doctors, no, please visit Alaga Health. And of course, don't forget to always verify your medical information through articles from hellodoctor.com.ph. Just a special shout out to my fur babies, Frost and Cole. Your fur mom and ate misses you. All right. I'll hand this over to Doc Dex, and magkita-kita po tayo next week for another insightful and fun conversations with Kumusta, Doc, and Hello Doctor and Kumu.
Thanks, Doc V. Doc Dex?
Hi, so camera shy na si Champ. But about to give you this, I just want to reiterate what I mentioned a while ago, no? Kapag ikay nakagat, bakuna agad. Kapag ikay nakalmot, turok ang sagot. Okay? So, very, very important for you to remember that, especially when it comes to rabies. So, this was one of my favorite episodes thus far. And I just want to encourage everyone, if you want to know more, visit Hello Doctor. And if you want to get help, check out Alaga Health. So again, thank you very much and see you all next week here on Kumusta Doc?
Salamat, Doc Dex. Poetic talaga si Doc Dex, ano?
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Ayan. Salamat. Super nag-enjoy ako.
See you again next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.